Hello, my loves. As part of my first year joining BookTube, I feel like I have to go over every single book that's on my physical TBR. I feel like this is a video that a lot of book channels do, and I have quite a hefty TBR, and I'm also wondering how many books in general are on my TBR. And I also have some books that I bought recently that I need to store and kind of like organize, make sure everything is in its right place. So I feel like it'd be kind of fun to go over every book on my physical TBR, which just basically means every book that I own physically that I have not read, because TBR means to be read, and do a little bit of organization with you guys. I think it could be interesting because on Instagram somebody asked me how many books do I think I own, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know. So before we get into it though, make sure you guys subscribe and like this video, leave a comment. Out of all the books that you end up seeing, which one do you think that I should read the most? Like, which one should I prioritize? Okay, let's get into it. Starting on the left side of the cabinet, well, let me kind of show you guys the vibe of what we're working with. So these entire shelves all the way up here are pretty much, I think, all books that I have not read yet, because I kind of wanted to store all the books that I haven't read and the books I have read separately. It's not going to work for very much longer though, because where I'm storing the books that I have read, it's filling up really quickly. So things might change in the future. At the top here, I have basically all romance. Same Time Next Summer by Annabelle Monaghan, which I'm definitely going to be reading soon because I just read her newest release, Summer Romance, and it was a 5-star read. Perfection of a book. Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. Another book I know I need to read soon. The Fake Mate by Alana Ferguson. I bought this after I read Bride by Ali Hazelwood because it's another like werewolf romance, which I love. A little Mariana Zapata section, which I kind of actually want to move over. We have Wait for It, we have The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and we have Colty. I got all of these recommendations from Heather McClary here on YouTube. I love her videos. She's like my comfort booktuber. Oh, and I also have All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. Her books are categorized as slow burn. I have my little Abby Jimenez section. I have Part of Your World and Yours Truly. I think part of the reason I haven't started her books yet is because like I think Abby Jimenez said you can read them in any order you want, but then everyone is like, no, you have to read them in a certain order. I have some books by K.L. Walther, Maybe Meant to Be and What Happens After Midnight. I read The Summer of Broken Rules by her and I really loved it. Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I just haven't read it yet. I don't know. Malibu Rising, which I didn't even know I owned Malibu Rising. Good to know. Maybe in Another Life and Forever Interrupted. I feel like her books are always very straightforward, always has some heavy level of like relationship issues and a lot of emotional depth. They're perfect reads for a book club because she leaves something to be discussed. 7 Year Slip and The Dead Romantics. I know this one is like a time travel romance type of vibe. The rest of my Magnolia Parks series, I regret not getting Daisy Hates the second one in the original covers because I have the original matte covers, not even like the ones that are out now with the glossy finish. And so this is what I'm working with. It's very unfortunate. Although I do like the new covers, I just wish they all matched. A Lynn Painter book, and I also have Beach Read, which I know guys, I need to read Beach Read. You don't have to yell at me about that one. I know. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I honestly think about getting rid of that book every time I look at it. A couple books that I bought recently. Just Last Night by Mahari McFarlane. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is one of those where like they meet up for a week every year and that's the extent of their relationship, and I love that. I love that storyline. I love that trope. And I have all of my Boys of Tommen series. I'm not going to take them all out because they're all absolutely massive, and I am so glad I picked up like the original covers. I don't know why, but I really like these covers. They're cringy, they're cheesy, and I love them. So I have the first 4. The Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. I bought this because it was just a very popular book talk series. Maybe I need to do a video like reading from my TBR very popular TikTok books, because I feel like the hardest part about entering reading, if you haven't read any of the popular books, people will reference new works to later works. Like they'll be like, oh, that's kind of getting Dreamland Billionaires. But if you've never read that, then you're kind of like, oh, I don't really know what you mean. So early in my reading era, I bought a lot of the TikTok book series, and then I have not read them yet. Then I have my little Ellen Hildebrand section. I have the 5-Star Weekend, Castaways, which is, I'm currently in the middle of this series, so this will be my next book that I pick up by Ellen. The Perfect Couple, I love this cover. Golden Girl, Summer of '69, The Hotel Nantucket. She writes all Nantucket romance novels. It's the setting of all of them, and I love that we know exactly what we're gonna get. It's kind of the same vibe as Ali Hazelwood. Like, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a STEM romance, which I will eat up every single time. We have some Rebecca Yarros. After I read Fourth Wing, I realized, wait, she actually is like a romance author. So I have The Things We Leave Unfinished, and we also have The Last Letter. I also read, oh gosh, what is that book where it's like they're on an airplane, or the cover is an airplane? I read that and I really, really loved it. So I can't wait to read these. Perfect Vintage. I just loved this cover. It says Old Money, Younger Men, One Intoxicating Summer. I need to read this summer. Maybe I need to do another book, like reading only summary books for a week so that I can get through some of these. My Roommate is a Vampire. Guys, I don't know why I bought this. I think I would like it, but it's just definitely a palette cleanser. I don't typically go towards those, so we will see eventually what I think of this one. One Sally Rooney book over here, Conversations with Friends, another book that's pretty high on like my want to read list. And then I have Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. I think that's how you say it. I've had this book since the pandemic. I have not read it. I think I started it and then I just like never got very far with it. Don't even remember what it's about. So back on the TBR sheet goes. All of my childhood books. If you were a John Green Tumblr girly, I'm gonna leave a video link down below that you must watch because it will give you all of the nostalgic feels in the best way. Like, I seriously need you to watch it and then comment what you thought about it, because I thought it was chef's kiss. John Green basically raised me, so here are my John Green books that I have from my literal childhood. Like, these are so special to me. But I have The Perks of Being a Wallflower, of course. Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. 13 Reasons Why. I cannot believe I read that at the ripe age of 12 years old. Paper Towns, of course. Oh my gosh, I'm so like, these, I could just like, I'm gonna cry, like, even just thinking about this. It's even tabbed, like, I'm shook. Little Kyra literally had these exact books in her hands. Bye, I'm gonna cry. Okay, The Fault in Our Stars, most heartbreaking book / movie. Wow. And then Looking for Alaska, of course. I need to reread these. Like, these are too special. I'm like so happy I have these, because when my parents divorced and moved out of their house, all of my boxes of childhood books got left behind. And these are the books that I took with me when me and Kaylin got married and moved out. These 6 books. So this is all that I have left. So it's really special that these are the ones that I have. Like, they just mean more because I lost everything else. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, there's more romance down here, which I don't know why I did it that way. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I heard this is a very deep book, but I'm so excited to read it because I've never read anything by Kennedy Ryan, and this is another book that I just feel like is a rite of passage in the book world. Like, you kind of have to read a Kennedy Ryan book to be taken seriously. In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. This is one of my favorite covers ever. Like, look at the spine, the gingham kind of vibe. Oh, so cute. And then I heard somebody say that this is really spicy, and I just never read it because I'm not, like, I just know I'm gonna hate it if it's super spicy. Bringing Down the Duke. Please, okay, if you guys don't do anything I say in this video, please do this one thing. Comment other book recommendations with this same vibe, like Bridgerton vibes, but not just straight spice. Like Bridgerton vibes, but cute and classy and fun and dating and courting. Like, please. I was kind of hoping that this would be that vibe. I haven't read it yet. Actually, this is pretty much at the top of my TBR. Like, when I choose my July TBR, I'm gonna try to put this on it because I actually really do want to read this. The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I just heard that this is a very underrated Nicholas Sparks book, and it's also very entertaining. Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I picked this up kind of on a whim, and I loved when I kind of like did this. I love how there is text messages in there. Like, I think that's so fun, like a little interactive element. Have another series by Kennedy Ryan. The first book is on my TBR currently. We picked it with our little TBR jar. Next video-ish that you guys see coming in the next couple weeks will be like a week of just trying to finish my TBR for June. I should be reading that book in it if you've been wanting to see my reaction. I've been getting DMs from you guys of like, have you read it yet? What did you think? I cannot wait to like see you update your Goodreads and say that you've been reading it, because apparently it tackles some pretty heavy topics. And I think that you guys just want to see me cry on camera. Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I feel like everyone was hyping this up and then suddenly everybody just started bashing this book. So now I'm kind of scared to read it. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Everyone has been telling me that I need to read this book like immediately. But I just read my first book by them, The Paradise Problem. It's actually their newest release. That has made me want to read it even more because I really like their writing in it. I have another Nicholas Sparks book, 2 by 2. This actually also, oh, this might be from my childhood home too. I saw a highlight. Where is it? Right, I saw it, I think. Am I tripping? I swear I saw a blue highlight. It's gonna drive me crazy. Okay, I don't know what, I could have swore I saw 2 lines of blue highlighter, but I guess I didn't. I don't know, that's so weird. I guess it's kind of also comforting because I definitely know I have not read this yet, 2 by 2 by Nicholas Sparks. And I know it's old because this is not how they do their stickers anymore, and it's also like really worn. Here are just like some random other books. I don't fully know exactly what it's about. We have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Other People's Clothes. Candy House. Apparently, first of all, I love this cover. Apparently though, this is in that section at Barnes where it's like crazy vibes, whatever. This is where I got that. Dinner Party by Sarah Gilmartin. The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. A Little Life apparently will make you cry. I bought these Daphne du Maurier books when I was on Cape Cod with Faith because I rated Rebecca, this book, 6 stars. Loved it. So I'm gonna try some other books by the same author. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Assembly by Natasha Brown. The Catherine Center book, How to Walk Away. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. First Love, a classic. White Nights, also another classic, I believe. I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. Love this cover. The Phlebotomist. The Alchemist. Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I bought this for my Taylor Swift video, but I never ended up reading it in that video because I read other books. We have some classics. Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This Side of Paradise and The Beautiful and Damned. I love these covers, so stunning. This is like a Penguins Classic Deluxe Edition. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Love the art on this. Down here we have my entire Kristen Hanna collection. Firefly Lane, I love the Netflix show that they did on this. Will make you cry 100%. The Nightingale, The Great Alone, and Four Winds. I love how chunky her books are. This section is like what I call my Jack Edwards section because a lot of these books I got as recommendations from him. So I don't really know what a ton of them are about. I just trusted his excitement over them. And then when I was at random bookstores, picked it up. Piglet. But I think that this is about a woman that like can't stop eating or something, which I just thought that was like so interesting. And her name is Piglet in the book. Like, that's just crazy work. The Push by Ashley Audrain. This one is all about like new motherhood. Beartown by Frederick Backman. Boulder by Ava Ballastar. Cleopatra and Frankenstein. The Body Keeps the Score. I'm kind of nervous about this one because I don't know Bessel van der Kolk, MD. And I definitely am careful on what I believe about like mind, body, soul stuff as a Christian because you don't know what they're going to be teaching, and you want to be careful what you take as like truth if it's not biblical, in my opinion. So I'm going to take this one slowly. Unbearable Lightness of Being, another Frederick Backman book, A Man Called Ove, Journey into the Past by Stefan Zweig, I think. Zweig. I don't know how you say that. I'm sorry. The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Here we have a classic, The Count of Monte Cristo. A lot of people are saying like you just have to read this. Like it is the OG of like book trope vibes. Like it's just filled with all of the main tropes that people love. I would love to have a bunch of classics in this like linen cover. I randomly have just a bunch of autobiographies. Lauren Graham's team invited me when she went on tour in Dallas, so slay. I bought a copy of her book. Have I told you this already? Cried when she came out. She's just like, her vibe, everything about her was just beautiful. Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. Educated by Tara Westover. I feel like I've owned this copy since the pandemic. I can't really remember, but I feel like I have. Stephen King on Writing. This is a historical fiction, All the Light We Cannot See. Then I recently bought The Things We Cannot Say. I don't know, they just give like really the same vibes, but they're both historical fiction, so I'm actually gonna put these together. 2 other books I just recently bought if you watch my videos. Notes on an Execution by Danya Kukafka. and what my mother and I don't talk about. I'm really excited for this one. This is like a collection of 15 essays, but these two books just give me like the same vibe, like it's like the same thing. I thought they were by the same author. I have owned this one since the pandemic, The Glass Castle, along with this one, Little Fires Everywhere. Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. Yes, the iconic Judy Blume that we grew up watching / reading. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Another pandemic book, What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty. I need to read this. I want to know her writing so badly. And then Firekeeper's Daughter. I love this cover. Over to this little middle section, I have all of my ACOTAR books, which I have read. All of my Christmas books. Love Holly by Emily Stone. A December to Remember. I love this cover. A Merry Little Meet Cute. Xmas Holidays. Snowed In for Christmas. The Christmas Fix. Kate Andrews' Bright Lights Big Christmas. 3 Ellen Hildebrand books that are all like Christmas winter themed. So Winter Street, Winter Stroll, and Winter Storms. There might be more in this series, I'm not sure. 2 Colleen Hoover books that I haven't read. It Starts With Us and November 9. And then I also have Check Me over here, which I actually have read, so I need to move that. Moving up, I have Crescent City 1 and 2. I'm not gonna get the 3rd until it comes out in paperback. Sorry. Tomorrow. Carrie Soto Is Back. Becoming by Michelle Obama. Groundskeeping by Lee Cole. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. 50 Words for Rain by Aisha Lemmy. Remarkably Bright Creatures. Also love this cover. And then Little Monsters. Kind of keep them pushed back so that the sun doesn't like bleach them. We go up a little bit. I have Chain Gang All-Stars, Lessons in Chemistry, and Viola Davis's memoir, Finding Me. This over here is my fantasy thriller mystery section. Top, I have my entire Harry Potter series. Oh my goodness, I'm just like obsessed. I cannot wait to read these in the fall. Like, I'm so excited. They're beautiful. I've never read the books or watched any of the movies, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. And then I have a bunch of Cassandra Clare. This is kind of one of my biggest regrets of like books that I've bought, is I bought a bunch of Cassandra Clare books thinking like the series was not that large. No, it's gigantic, it's massive. And so now I just have some of them, and I basically just have to hope that I really love them. Like, I have the first 3, but the way you read them is kind of in a different order. I don't know, so we'll just ignore those, okay? Then I have the Shatter Me series. I have 6 of the books. I don't know if there's more than 6. Again, another popular TikTok book series that I have not read. I have all of the Divergent books. I need to reread these because I read these in my childhood and I loved them. This little series, I think this is called the Cruel Prince Trilogy by Holly Black. So we have The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. Selection series, I need to read these because I just know that I will love them. The opportunity to be swept up in a world of glittering gowns and princess jewels, to live in a palace and compete for the heart of gorgeous Prince Maxon. I cannot wait. That's like so right up my alley. Never by Jessa Hastings. This is, I think, a Peter Pan retelling. 2 Twisted Crowns. I read the first one and I loved it, so I know I'll love this. I bought these ones recently, The Wishing Game and The Trial of the Sun Queen. Jade City, Powerless. Need to read this. These are some of my favorite spines, Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. I have no idea what those are about. Then I have my Lord of the Rings series. I really love these. These came in a box set. I love the tone of these books. There's a green, blue, but this is what they look like. I think that they're just like so pretty. Another Lord of the Rings, I know that I will for sure be reading this fall and watching the movies. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Stolen Heir, and The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. Paper Princess, I bought this as recommendation by a booktuber, and then she recently said that she didn't really like it, so now I'm like, why did I buy it? We have Bad Blood. It's the last book in the Natural series, and I need to read it. And then I have the Inheritance Games. I actually have the Caraval series in here, which I've already read this, so I'm actually gonna take this out of here. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I have read this, but I just read a different version of it that I have. I don't know, should I like, what do I do with books that I have doubles of? And then I have The Ballad of Never After, another book I regret buying because I don't really like reading hardbacks. I wish I would have never, because I have this version that matches my first. It's a mess, you know, it is just a mess. Light Lark by Alex Astor. I love her name. The Hunger Games series. Oh, look at my, you could tell this one is from my childhood. This is another book that I was able to bring from my childhood home, so I'm so glad I have it. Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I have read all of these, but I want to reread them, so that's why they're over here. And then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I cannot wait to read this. Mr. Snow. Twilight, which sadly this is not the version from my childhood. I so wish it was, but. And then I have Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. Like, when will I ever hold this and actually read it? I have many beginner booktuber mistakes that I've made. I have two books that I bought recently, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, because I waited to buy the paperback version because like this is pretty chunky in paperback. Imagine the hardcover would be huge. And then Map of the Otherlands by Emily Wilde. Not by Emily Wilde, Heather Fawcett. Some thriller mysteries. Oh, actually I have some books back here. I thrifted some of the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings books. So pretty. Except they're like all tore up. I'm kind of like wondering why I did this exactly. Look Closer by David Ellis. 11/22/63, JFK Slain in Dallas, which I live in Dallas now, so I'm really interested to read this. Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm always so drawn to this cover, so I can't wait to read this. I have some other books by Riley Sager, Lock Every Door and The House Across the Lake. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy by Holly Jackson. This recently, If He Had Been With Me. Very popular TikTok book as well. Big Little Lies by Leah Moriarty, another book I've had since the pandemic. And I actually started this one, but I never finished it, so I need to get back on it. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. The Cellar. I don't even know when. Oh, this is an old book that I bought because these Target stickers are old. So, you know, there's kind of a benefit to leaving your Target stickers on. Oh, another Stephen King book, which I should put down here, Billy Summers. I love this cover too. Family Upstairs and The Family Remains. I think, is this a 2-book little duology or 3-book? I don't know, but this is a series. Ninth House and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, except I have 2 copies of Ninth House because I saw the sprayed edge. I just needed the sprayed edges, I'm sorry. And then also have Hellbent in the sprayed, like, you know, obviously I had to do that. Stunning covers of Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. You're joking. The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I want to read this so badly. I need to get on it. And then over here we have some like a little tiny sci-fi section. So I have Resurgence by Blake Crouch, Fahrenheit 451, and Red Rising, of course. I have more books. Let me show you where they are. Over here at my little coffee nook station, I have Archer's Voice, a very beautiful annotated special edition with sprayed edges. And then I have, oh, there's Coffee Splash up here. Uh-oh, what is this called? The series, I can't remember, but it's like these covers. Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, Flawless, Hopeless by Elsie Silver. And I have the Addicted Calloway Sister series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Here they are. If you're concerned or wondering about reading order, this is the exact reading order that you should go in. I did lots of research, so I promise you that is the order. Okay, give you a couple seconds to screenshot that in case you're wondering. And I love how these look up here, like they're just stunning. And then in my like office hobby room, the office has been rebranded to hobby room in case you're wondering, but I keep some books up here. This is my TBR that I choose with my TBR jar, along with some other books that I just like want to remind myself to read. So we have Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan that I was telling you guys about, Green Dot by Madeline Gray, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. How do you say that? I don't know. The Housemaid's Secret, Do-Over by Lynn Painter. So that's my current TBR. I recently bought Happily Never After by Lynn Painter, A Tempest of Tea, Sorrowland by River Solomon. This is Black author, and she's like leaving a cult, but she's like in the woods. I cannot wait to read it. For Soul, I love this cover. The C.S. Lewis like collection, so it's like a bunch of books in one, and it has those like torn edges that I love. And then Blood Marks by Tracy Dewan with these sprayed edges. Like, how stunning, because I love the first book so much. I need to read this. All these are just the books that I read so far this month, and then like all my Bible study stuff, and then books that I've read are down there. Now let's count every single book that I haven't read, and then I'll give you guys final number. Wait, I totally forgot my Throne of Glass series back here. I have like book blindness. Like I have so many books that I don't even recognize them. All the ones over here, so 34 so far. We are at 100, we're at 150, we're at 170, including all of these. Okay, we're at 200, we're at 250. Okay, we are officially at 263 unread books. It's just none of my business knowing that number, so you guys can keep that number. And I will be forgetting it immediately after this. Thank you very much. That concludes my entire physical TBR. I'm actually shocked. I did not expect it to be that high of a number. Like I really didn't. I'm kind of questioning everything right now. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.